I'd like to start by welcoming the veterans, both at home and here in this room, who've joined us for this hearing today. Caring for veterans is a top priority of this subcommittee, and today we're here to ensure that Blue Water veterans receive the benefits and care that they're entitled to under the law. Our Vietnam-era veterans waited for too long for the VA and for Congress to provide the critical disability and health benefits that are due to them as a result of Agent Orange exposure. Thankfully, that wrong was righted with the bipartisan, unanimous passage of the Blue Water Navy Vietnam Veterans Act of 2019, which I co-sponsored. That act goes into effect January 1st, 2020. I'm holding this hearing now to make sure that the VA is planning for success and doing everything it can in the meantime to help veterans covered by this law. I invited Dr. Paul Lawrence, the Undersecretary for Benefits at the Veterans Benefits Administration, to this hearing to address VA's progress and planning for Blue Water Navy implementation. Disappointingly, the Undersecretary declined to attend and did not give a reason for his inability to attend. I would say that his absence is notable and concerning today, and it would have been helpful for Dr. Lawrence to have been here today to answer our questions, address our concerns, and let us know what, if any, additional resources the VA needs to implement this law on time for our veterans. We've also heard from our VSO partners that the department is failing to fully collaborate and share information with them. They identified a stonewall at high levels of the department that reduces transparency and ultimately hurts VA programs and veterans. I'm sorry that Dr. Lawrence is not here today to personally address at this hearing those concerns of our VSO partners who we will hear from later today. One common objection from veterans advocates is the Secretary's stay on all claims covered in the Blue Water Veterans Act, including Blue Water claims, children of Thailand veterans, and Korean DMZ veterans. I'm concerned that this stay is overreaching and causes undue delays. While I appreciate the department's efforts towards preparation, including the mapping tool that they've created using naval deck logs, I question the need for a blanket stay. And I know that we spoke earlier, Mr. Clark and Ms. Murphy, and perhaps there is a misunderstanding between that and the VSOs, what they're observing and what you're implementing. So perhaps we can clear that up as part of the questioning today. I'm also troubled with the news that VA has not accounted for submarines when deploying the mapping tool for Blue Water. The law and the committee report clearly outline that veterans who served on any vessel within offshore waters is presumed to have been exposed to Agent Orange. The committee reports state that vessels below the water are also included. But even so, submarines often surface and would have done so within the offshore waters of Vietnam. VA has made some progress in preparing for implementation of this act, but I hope that we'll hear more today about the VA's plans going forward. For example, how will VA implement training for newly hired raters? How will VA utilize the hub processing centers? Indications to this subcommittee are that some regional offices and medical centers remain unaware about the upcoming changes to the law. And will the VA adjust the employee production standards to account for complicated Blue Water claims, which could potentially entail reviewing decades of medical files? The committee has many questions, and we believe the VA has much work left to do. This work is far too important to veterans and to the country. We see this as an opportunity for our VA representatives here today to let Congress know what, if any, additional resources and support that you need to successfully implement the Blue Water Navy Veterans Act as of January 1st, 2020. And I now recognize Ranking Member Mr. Boss for his remarks.